Hey everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel, The Poly Strategist. In this YouTube channel, I'm going to be teaching you how you can become better at Polytopia, mainly the weekly challenges. Now, one thing that we're going to be focusing on is increasing our score, right? Getting the maximum amount of points. This really is just perfection, but with fewer rounds. And the good side is that we were playing on the same map 7 days in a row. So we get multiple attempts, and the best part is you can learn from others to increase your own score and level up in the ranks. Now, as you can see, I'm currently in the Bronze League. I just started last week, and my score is currently at, 9,000? So one thing that we want to do is obviously climb the ladder, right? So we want to go from bronze to silver to gold, and for each one, it increases the difficulty. So on bronze, it's easy. On silver, it's normal. On silver, it's hard. On gold, it's crazy. But what I'm going to do here, starting off, and this is a game that I just played, and I'm going to do a voiceover of my thought process here so you can learn a little bit more. But the first thing that I'm doing here is, I know that if I move a little bit west, there's going to be a rune there. And that rune is really what I want to grab, because that is going to give me Explorer. So if I'm able to get that as quick as possible, I'm able to discover the other tribes as quickly as possible. Now, the ideal scenario here is to discover all three. So on this map, you've probably seen it, there are 3 tribes. You have Hudrik, you have Imperius, and you have Bardur. So getting those quite early is going to help. But also what I'm showing you here is that I'm talking about the different strategies that I want to use today. So one thing that I want to focus on is getting the navigation one. The reason why is because there are a few stars. I think there are 3 starfishes up on the east side, the top side of the map. So I want to try and get those as soon as I possibly can, just so I can get that compound effect, essentially. So I'm going to move that one down there to capture that base. I'm going to go to this rune right here. And it's all looking good, so we're just going to end turn. One thing that I'm going to have to focus on is to try and get mining, because as you can see, I have mines on my first 2 bases. Well, I have that one right there, and then on my first base. And then there is a base right in the middle there that I want to capture as well. But as you can see here, I did not discover Imperius, which is a little bit unlucky. But, oh well, that happens. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go for fishing. And that's just because I can go for the starfishes that are up there. So I'm just going to click end turn here. You can see Bardur is right there. We're just going to go end turn. Okay, so now I am going to move topside. I want to get that base in the middle. I'm going to get level up there, and I'm going to move him up. We're just going to end turn here. I can see Hudrik is probably going to try and get that base. So to to stop him from getting it, I'm just going to hit him once, because if I hit him, he can't kill me, and I can kill him next turn if he decides to move on that base, which he's actually going to do. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to build a port. Before I build the port, I'm going to build one guy there, just so I can put him on the port next turn, instead of having to build the port now, then build a guy, and then having to wait another turn to actually get him live, on the ocean. So I'm going to try and get this guy here. You can see I did the mine there, probably because I want to get the extra resources now. So I'm before I'm building that port, I'm like, wait, I'm going to do this, get the resources, so I get the extra star per turn. Now I'm going to build the port. And you can see I'm looking at the points, the stars that I need to get navigation, because now you can see there is these 2 starfishes that I really want to get, right? So I know I need 10 stars, but I only have 9. Which means that I can't build another guy here, because if I do that, I won't be able to get that. I could potentially grab this, but then what happens is the navigation becomes a lot more expensive, so I'm going to hold off on building that. But now I can go on this little fishy thing here, the starfish. I can build not build another one, but first get that. Now I can capture this base, or this village. And I'm just scouting the map to kind of think about what I'm going to do next. So we end turn here, and yeah, now I can get this, and I get an influx of resources. And here's where I make an interesting choice. So in my head, when I played this game, 30 minutes ago, I said, well, I want to focus on resources now, and then I want to try and capture the bases as quickly as I possibly can. And I'm noticing that this Bardur guy has a huge little, he has a defense bonus there. So I'm considering going for meditation, because meditation gets me closer to philosophy, which makes all the technologies cheaper, but it also gives me Altar of Peace if I do not make any attacks for 5 turns, which also gives me the additional points, but also the 3 points towards the base to my village, which I can use to level up. So now I'm like, okay, I can't make any attacks for 5 turns, which means I need to play it a little bit safe. But I went for Explorer here because I wanted to find Imperius and kind of see what he was up to. And I was hoping I could discover that lighthouse, but I didn't. So that was a little bit unfortunate. But no worries. We can always discover that later if we're lucky. So now I'm like, okay, well, I still need to find all these starfishes. And I'm contemplating whether or not I should build some ports to get more points towards my base, but I don't know. But again, I can't make any attacks for 5 turns. And if you also pay attention to the guy in the middle there, I'm trying to move up to capture that one base up there, close to Hoodrick. But yeah, I'm considering how to kind of end this game. So I'm on turn 10, which means I have 9 turns left after this. And obviously I need to start considering how I'm going to capture all of the other villages within 5 turns, which is, something that can be a little bit of a challenge, right? When you're playing normal, it's going to be easier than crazy. So if you're still in the early leagues, you're good. But if you're playing the gold league, or I think even on the hard bots, it's going to be probably a different strategy. But yeah, as you can see here, one thing that I'm considering next is the tech tree. And I'm considering going for mining, just so I can use that to level up my bases. But also for the end game, I'm considering going for chivalry. And I think chivalry could work really well, considering that you can chain kill units, and most of the units that are going to be here are going to be quite low. Now, 8 turns left. I'm moving on to this base. I'm not going to attack him, and I went on the starfish. And I know that I want to get that starfish, which is on the east-south side. And here I'm also considering, should I... because I also want that starfish that's down there. And I know there is a ruin a little bit further down as well, so I want to get that as well. The only downside to that is it gives me a swordsman. And here's the thing about the runes. The runes don't change. So the one that is in the corner there, just by Bardur close to the lighthouse, that one gives you a swordman, and you're kind of trapped. So it's kind of pointless to go for that. But the rune that I started with gives you explorer, which is really good. The rune that is right next to the starfish up top there gives me resources. And this is good to know, good info to have. So yeah, now I think I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do next. I'm going to try and record live audio, so it's easier to sort of, so I can, explain better. I'll see if I can do that on the next one. We'll see how these develop, these walkthroughs. But yeah, as you can see, I'm sort of navigating and hovering over that Bardur capital there, because in my head, I'm like, well, wait a minute. If I can get a sailing and I can just capture it undefended, that would be huge for me. That would be absolutely huge. But I think Bardur has vision. I think he has it because he has he has climbing. So if he went on that mountain, he definitely has vision of me moving on the south side. But yeah, you can see again, I'm looking at chivalry because I'm thinking, can I get chivalry here to really, kill them? And I think that's going to be, at this point, I'm like, whoa, that's my strategy. And also you can see, instead of taking the star here, I decided to go on the rune. Why? Because I saw that Hudrik was getting close to the rune. And so I knew that if I took the starfish instead, I would have to give up the rune, because then I would have no way of killing him. And he would essentially get the resources instead of me. And I know that I can always get the starfish later, so I wasn't too worried. But yeah, here I'm considering buying a new technology before I capture the base, before it becomes more expensive. So, this is the thought process that is going through my head. You always want to buy, if you're considering buying technology, always do that before you capture a village. Because when you capture a village, it becomes more expensive and it's unnecessary, right? So always make sure you build your technology before you capture a village if you're in that process. Sometimes even delay capturing a village, especially if you're on the later stages of the tree, because the first technology of any branch that you buy is typically very low. So it always only increases by 1. But the further you get in that tree, the more expensive it becomes, the more villages you have. So keep that in mind. But yeah, now I got the starfish, and I can see that Bardur did, in fact, build a guy there, so he definitely had vision. But yeah, as you can see, I have 38 stars this turn, so I just got 20 extra points. And obviously I still can attack because I am 1 or 2 turns away from getting my Altar of Peace. So instead of having to kill him there, I just had to focus on healing myself. And here I still, again, can't attack. So I'm just moving my unit up there in case he decides to attack me and try and capture my base, because he does have that unit in the middle. So if Imperius also decides to attack me, that's going to make it tricky. But yeah, you can see I just bought Chivalry because I'm setting up for the end game. Because after this turn, I can now start to focus on capturing bases. And that's really what I want to focus on here. And now I'm just considering what to do with for the next turn. Because you have that Bardur guy in the middle. And yeah. And again, guys, like the goal here is to always try and beat your previous score, right? I think that's the fun part about this, is that you can always try and because you get the same attempt for each game. Yeah, so you can see he attacked me there. I got Altar of Peace, which means, okay, cool, now I can start attacking guys, right? There's no reason for me not to attack anyone. And I'm going to move him. Let's see, what do I do here? Yeah, I know I want to discover this lighthouse. There we go. And I'm going to get this guy leveled up. And now I'm just going to go for population growth, I think. Border growth doesn't give me much in this position. I mean, it does give me access to the three forests there, but not really that big of a deal. And yeah, I'm moving him up there. I'm moving him up to the mountain because I have nowhere else to go. I'm attacking him because I know that if I leave him at full HP, he's going to do more damage to my knight. And knights don't have a lot of defense. So instead of actually going topside and defending that, I went down to kill him. I'm going to build a swordsman there, and I'm going to build another swordsman there because, I mean, they're kind of chunky and bulky. They do good damage, and they have decent stats. So as you can see, there is the rune. Now, for next time, I'm probably not going to invest too much money, because like the rune gives you one veteran swordsman, and I mean, what is that, 25 points, something like that, 15 points. So it doesn't really, I'd rather use an extra troop to try and capture a village faster, as opposed to getting those extra 25 points, because it doesn't give me much. So I wouldn't say go for that rune which is on the mountain next to the lighthouse. It's not that big of a deal. You don't really need it. But yeah, as you can see, the Bardur guy did attack my knight, which is kind of annoying. So instead of going down, I knew that I couldn't kill him yet, the Bardur. So I needed 2 knights because he does have that defense up. So yeah, I'm just moving topside here because I want to capture that base. So this is the point where I'm going to build, I'm considering either a knight. But yeah, I'm going back down here, and I'm just going to punch him, hit him with that. I'm moving my swordsman down, and I'm not going to attack here, I think. I'm moving him down as well. And I'm going to build an Altar of Peace here just to get the resources, and also so I can build another guy here. So I'm getting a knight down here, and I'm getting a knight up there. So now I have 2 knights, new ones, plus the old one, which is currently on the mountain there. Now, it's a good thing that Imperius just attacked this guy. That's actually great for me. Yeah, he just attacked him. So now I can actually move my knights, and I can do some damage here. So you can see, boom, he's going to kill him. He's going to kill him. He's going to kill that guy. And now, because he has a defense, I can't kill him. But I do have that additional knight, so I'm going to hit him, and I still can't kill him. I'm like, shit, but thank God, right? So now I can get that guy, and I can get this, and I also got the Gates of Power, which is a monument that you get after 10 kills. And now I see this guy started placing down defenders, which is obviously annoying, because if he didn't have defenders, I could have captured him straight away. So instead, I'm setting up to capture him. So what am I doing? Well, I am healing. I'm moving him north so I can get that starfish. I'm moving this guy more to the west so I can try and focus on Imperius as well. And now, really, what we're thinking about is, are we going to get tech, or are we going to place more units? And I know that I want another unit up there. So I'm like, well, I want another knight. So I'm probably going to throw my Gate of Power down so I can build another knight here. So I can move him to the side. We're just going to get workshop here. We're going to move him to the side, and we're going to build another knight. And this is so I can capture that Hoodrick base up top. And in the meantime, I am moving to... so now I should have enough damage to kill him. And you can see I have 2 turns left, and I yet have to capture 1, 2, 3, 4 bases in 2 turns. So I'm going to damage him. I'm going to damage him, and I'm going to get that base. And obviously, defender barely does any damage. So, that's good for me. And Imperius now has 4 troops there. The ideal would be to capture that base, but I think that's going to be tricky, so. But yeah, so as you can see, instead of capturing that round, I rather went to kill those other guys there. And unfortunately, I really wish that I had another guy in the middle there, or that one warrior, if he was there 1 round earlier, I could have captured that guy right then and there. So that is actually a good thing for me to sort of think about when I position my troops better next time. All right? Because if that warrior was 1 tile further, I could have gotten that base, which is kind of like annoying in hindsight. But yeah, now I'm thinking about, okay, I have 16 stars, and I definitely want to get some, I want to get the, connect the cities here. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that one, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to resources, and now I can build another mine to level up this guy as well. And I'm just looking here, is there anything else? Should I build something there? I really wanted to build another knight there. Unfortunately, I couldn't. It would have been great to sort of remove those units, get a star back so I could place another knight there, because the knights obviously gives you longer range to travel, which would make it easier for me. Now, guys, as you can see, I'm also 1,700 points below what I was during my last game. So in my head, I'm like, okay, fair enough. But I am still now capturing 3 bases, which is going to give me a huge boost. So now 1.4 down. And as you can see, I'm going to start capturing these bases. Before I do capture them, I'm probably going to move my units / check for any tech. But yeah, now I can see that this knight can't kill him, unfortunately. But I can capture it, because this is my last turn, right? This is my absolutely last turn. So now I'm like, well, if I can't get that guy, I can get the other guy. Right? Like the one the one on the left there. So I moved my boat up there. I obviously grabbed that guy. Did I get the starfish? No. Yeah, I'm looking at the tech tree here. And I'm just considering, like, how can I capture bases? Can I do roads? Is roads going to help me? No, it's not. So, yeah, here I went to get some tech before I captured the bases, right? This is, again, going back to what I was saying earlier. The reason I went for forestry is because there are a lot of forest around. And even if I can't get the forest, if I don't use it, I can always remove it for an extra point. But now that I upgraded everything that I wanted to upgrade, I then started to capture the bases. Now, the one mistake that I made here was that I don't know why I did this, but I threw down a port for some reason. I thought that, I was like, I didn't understand why it connected, but then I realized there is already a port, and it's connected. So yeah. But yeah, instead of trying to kill him, I'm like, well, I can kill him. And there we go. So we got boom, boom, boom. So now I know that I have almost all of the bases. I'm just missing that guy. And I was a little bit annoyed that I could, because I'm like, can I do roads? You know, is that possible? It's not. So, I mean, these guys are just useless at this point. I mean, they can't do anything else. We can't capture that final base. We were really close to capturing it, but unfortunately, yeah, we didn't get it. So yeah, I shouldn't have done that because obviously there was a line there. I don't know what I was thinking. In my head, I'm like, oh, maybe not. But yeah, I'm getting that to get the Grand Bazaar. I'm going to level up that one. And I'm just going to go for park, right? Like park and points and earn resources. So again, it doesn't matter what I do here. I mean, I'm not able to capture that base anyway, so it's just kind of like pointless. Now, moving into my last turn, this is where I have this sailing boat. So technically, I could try and discover that one lighthouse, and I can. Boom, there we go. And then I'm like, wait, I'm just missing one. Can I get this one? Yes, I can. If I do a port and I do sailing, I can get it. So I basically got sailing for free, and I was able to connect them as well, which is great. So now I've got Eye of the God, which again gives you a lot of points, right? So we're always going to go for resources. No need for defense, especially not when you're not under attack. So never go base. Unless it's like, you're playing multiplayer and you're getting attacked by a bunch of guys who are crazy and it's like your last resort and you have defenders. So we're just going to disband because, again, they don't give us a lot of points and we really need the additional points. So at this point, I'm looking to level up. This is the final turn, right? So at this stage, I am literally just looking at how can I get as many parks as possible. That is the only goal that I currently have. Now, instead of doing the harvest fruitery, you can see I paused. And I was like, wait a minute. Instead of doing that, I'd rather do a forge. Why? It costs 5. If I were to do the harvest and the forest, it would also be 5. But instead, I can just do the forge and I can remove the forest. I can clear the forest, which will give me 2 additional points. So now I'm +2 as opposed to, not having those extra points. +1 because I could, So here, border growth. The reason why I picked border growth here is because there was a lot of forest around. And going into the final turn, I am now 500 points up from last time, and it's only increasing. So now I'm 1,000 points up, and now I have 0 stars, and I'm like, what can I do to get more points? And this is going to be cool here, guys. So as you can see, I have 0 points. You might think, well, finish game, right? But no, we can still increase. So you can see me clearing the forest, right? So if I don't see that I can get more parks, if there is no hope of getting more parks, then I clear the forest for additional points. And I look around the map and I see, oh, here we go. I can do Park of Fortune here, which is going to give me another park, and I don't need that. So we're just going to build the other monument. And now I'm looking around the map. Where can I build another... where can I get another park? Oh, right there. So now I do this, and I throw down a forge, and I get the final park. And now I'm 2,500 points higher than what I was the previous game. And now I'm just having fun. I'm like, oh, I wish. Wishful thinking. Yeah, and at this point, there is not much more that I can do. There is not a lot of bases that I can upgrade. So, now I'm moving into the end game. And I think, guys, like one thing that I try and focus on is philosophy before I capture too many villages. And the reason why is because my technology tree will become so much cheaper in the end game, right? So when you look at the cost, like you get literacy, which reduces the price of all technologies by 33%. So instead of paying, like this one, forestry 14, instead of paying 21, you're paying 14, right? So you are essentially saving seven stars that you can invest in upgrading your villages to get to park, which gives you a lot of points. But yeah, now we're basically done. I don't think there's much more we can do. And again, the goal here is just to increase your points, and it's the same map. So yeah, and as you can see, we got to rank 386, which is great. So we're 386 currently in the world of Polytopia players doing this weekly challenge. But we're still far away from the first place, right? It's crazy that someone got 21,000 points. If we go to the bottom of the 100 list, we see that you have to get at least 13,750 to make it there. So it's, we're about 1,500 points away from being in the top 100. And I think if we would have captured that one base a round earlier, we could have gotten there. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this, let me know. If there's anything you'd like me to do different, let me know. I think maybe if I do a quicker walkthrough of the games, doing the one that was recorded, that might be better. And if you are someone who has a higher score than me, if your score is above 12,000, let me know. Send me a walkthrough of your game. You don't have to do a voice recording, but send me a walkthrough. That would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Poly Strategist out. Thank you so much for watching.